Louisiana. There is no place in the world like Louisiana, especially in East Baton Rouge Parish, commonly known as EBR. EBR is the second largest city in Louisiana, home to the capital region and the city of Baton Rouge. The history of East Baton Rouge Parish dates back to 1719, when the capital city was a military post for the French. The parish itself was established on December 10, 1810, after local settlers rebelled against Spain, and when the parishes were annexed and divided under the control of Governor Claiborne. When thinking about this parish, visitors instantly think of the fun of downtown Baton Rouge or the ongoing crime narrative throughout the parish. However, you get a different story when you drive further down into areas like the 70802 and the 70805. Despite the high crime narratives that are associated with certain areas of East Baton Rouge Parish, the Black residents of this community are actively working to create a counter-narrative. Through community initiatives, volunteer programs, and other social events, they are showcasing the true spirit of EBR and the resilience of its people. Come along as we take another look at another narrative that reflects the true spirits of the Black residents of East Baton Rouge Parish. Of the total population, around 45.48% are Black. And for these Black residents, there's a different life outside what is being shown in today's media. For many people, EBR is the parish to be in. The culture here is like a huge gumbo pot, filled with different racial groups, ethnic backgrounds, and diverse cultures. It's where you can find the best food, hear the best music, see the best shows, and so much more. For the Black community of East Baton Rouge, this parish holds many cherished memories passed on from generation to generation.
Fondest memory by living in BR. I would have to say, and I know it's entertainment-wise, but the first time I was able to get on the stage at the Family Day in the Park, you know what I'm saying, for 94.1, it was at the State Fairgrounds, and it was like really, really huge, and Master P, No Limit, and everybody was out there. And that was probably a real impactful moment that I realized that the city was really receiving my music and myself as they were receiving it. And that was a real good day for me.
You know, it's a caring, loving city, you know. I feel we can bring it back to that if we stop turning our heads on what has happened, thinking about if that's, you know, that didn't happen to me, so I wouldn't be concerned. But Baton Rouge is a concerned city because they care for it.
The media's portrayal of East Baton Rouge Parish has been dominated by crime stories, but what is often left out is the context of poverty and systemic racism that contribute to these issues. The media has a powerful impact on how we view the world. For the Black community, the constant barrage of negative images and stereotypes can be damaging. These repeated exposures to specific media messages can shape our perception of reality. Coupled with the notion that we begin to believe that the world is a dangerous and hostile place, it is no wonder that the Black community is often viewed through a lens of fear and suspicion. Black representation in the media can shape how we see ourselves and our communities. It can inspire, uplift, and empower, but also perpetuate harmful stereotypes and contribute to systemic oppression.
People have their stereotype. They already have their stereotypes. And like I said, it's just what you tune into. Me personally, I try not to, even tune into things that represent anybody really badly, because I don't know, I'm very emotional when it comes to that. So I just feel like it depends on what you open yourself up to, because there's the representation of all different types of Black people everywhere in the media.
Right, because most of the stuff that I like when it comes to social media and stuff per se, what I look at, it is mostly music stuff or comedy or other positive things like that. But I also follow news sites and stuff too. And usually when I see things like that, it's it's always a Black versus white thing. No matter what type of situation it is, that becomes like the general consensus of what this situation is about, even regardless of what the root cause really is.
I think that the representation is one-sided. You know, most of the time when you see a news flash that comes across the news is giving out something negative, something that happened bad in the neighborhood. But there's so many good people that's in our neighborhood that are trying to do good things, that are giving back, that are feeding the homeless, that are out there working with the youth, you know what I'm saying, that's walking up and down the streets trying to prevent crime, trying to be vigilant about that you never see those type of things in the news. You know, there's a lot of people in the hood that are doing, you know, youth programs where they're bringing in and bringing kids into their home and setting them down, tutoring them and trying to help them learn, you know, get better grades in school.
Have Mexican, we can have Indians, but guess where we at all of the time? We always here. For once in my life, I want to see us at least come right here. We always represented it as the negative, not positive. Even with Obama being in office, we still was negative. They were still negative. We're not going to have positive until we bring positive. Everyone has to be on one accord.
I don't think that they really go out there and try to give a positive image of the Black community. Because even though we have a lot of crime going on, there's a lot of positive things going on in the community too. And the only way we can change the bad things is we show the good things and start showing good role models so people can have someone to look up to besides the crime and the bad things that's going on.
Just like with Black portrayals in the media, there are both positive and negative aspects to being a Black resident of EBR. Despite being proud of their area, many Black residents of EBR have unfortunately been subjected to shame and disbelief due to the heavy crime narrative. However, they remain resilient and continue to work towards creating a more positive narrative and community for future generations.
Came back off of vacation, and when I stayed in Baton Rouge, where I was from Louisiana, Baton Rouge is like, when I say Baton Rouge, you could see the difference in the gestures and the eye movement and, you know, just the tone. Like, you know, that's the #1 capital of murder, you know. And I'm like, everybody, I went to expand on to the, one of the ladies that I was talking to, that's not what everybody does, you know. You have some good people and you have bad people, but you can't let your bad people outweigh your good. You have to find some good in everything.
For that, to be honest with you, they don't we don't get represented in the best light. Even when we are in a good light, it's something that they have to show or pinpoint to show something negative. You can have someone doing everything right, positive to the T. They're gonna still try to find something or say something to like deter you from the positive things and deter you to that one negative word or that one negative act. But you know, that's what helps us as a Black community to stay strong and try not to let the public or the media define who we really are, and people who really know us individually wouldn't believe that in the first place.
On my street, it's pretty much older people and it's quiet, but we can hear from 2 blocks over shooting, police, ambulance. We hear the fire trucks all night. If we quiet and don't have the TV blaring, we can hear gunshots all night long. These little kids that don't have nothing to do in 70805 but gangbang. We have 70805, 70801, 2, and 3. All them coming together and gangbanging, bringing the property value, bringing 70805 to be judged for their, because it happened in 70805. Don't mean all the people was from 70805. Don't mean because we're in 70805, we supposed to be standing up for 70805, but who's standing up for us? They judge us because we're from here. I don't know the underbelly of EBR because we have some things that really need to be said, but people are afraid to say it out loud.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of sirens,
there are the sirens right there. As I said, the sirens. You will hear them literally everywhere you go. It's not just 70805.
Anybody judges me from being from EBR or Baton Rouge, normally most of my run-ins are very friendly. I guess being from Baton Rouge, I make people feel more at home, like it's like a Southern thing.
I mean, all the time. I mean, being from East Baton Rouge, and well, actually, let me keep that real. Being from New Roads, but migrated to Baton Rouge. When I go abroad and I go to different places and they find out that I am from Baton Rouge, first thing they ask me about is Lil Boosie. They ask me about NBA Youngboy. They ask me if all the things that they see, like on the videos, are those really how we living down here in Baton Rouge? Is Baton Rouge that hard? Is that cruel? Is the crime rate? Can I not walk down the street at night? Can I feel safe? And they feel like we really are just really some bad characters down here. Not because that's the only thing that the media portray. So they go by what they see, and you start showing in the neighborhoods and talking to people that can show that no, there are positive people, positive role models. There are people that have something to say, and something to offer to the community. Then I think that we would get a different outlook on how EBR is portrayed as a whole. In from state to state to state to state.
When it comes to knowing what happens in East Baton Rouge Parish, many locals and visitors rely on the local news. Unfortunately, stories we see daily deal with a shooting, robbery, homicide, or some other disaster that negatively impacts the narrative of what EBR is, especially when it comes to its Black community. Despite these negative stories, countless positive things are happening in East Baton Rouge Parish that often go unnoticed. From community events to volunteer initiatives, many people are working together to make EBR a better place for everyone. I contacted a local news expert for their insight to better understand the process behind getting and creating these news stories.
You want to look into keeping people safe. Of course, keeping communities safe, especially being so grounded in our communities as a local news station, local news outlet, someone that people are a station, I guess, that people really trust. So what goes into it is just what the people can use. So you just want to keep up with those headlines. If there's crime, let people know where it happened, how you can help. You never want to just give people a story and leave it there. You want to push it ahead, give people the reason why. I always say, anyone under my leadership or just any advice I always offer, if you cannot answer why something is in your show, it does not belong in your show.
In your expert opinion, what steps do you think need to be taken behind the scenes to increase the number of positive news stories that accurately represent the vibrant and complex reality in East Baton Rouge Parish, while also reducing the promotion of negative stereotypes?
My advice is to go after the positive stories just as hard as we may chase a hard news story with negativity. It's very interesting, almost clickbait. You don't want to just publish something for clickbait, but certain news headlines can be clickbait, and the negativity. A lot of people thrive off the negativity. It's high interest behind the negativity. My advice would be you chase those happy-go-lucky news stories just as hard as you chase the bad news. Whenever there's a construction project coming up that's going to delay everybody's morning commute for 7 months, we want to change that. But what about when they come back to us and say all the progress they've made, all the construction has, concluded and wrapped up, and now everyone's commute is going to be smooth? Chase that finish line just as hard as you chase the negativity. And I think that would help you. If you're going to be a passionate journalist, you need to vet everyone, vet all your information, and you need to have a very open mind. And if you can't tell a story with all sides, it's flat. You have to be very honest. You have to chase all aspects to the best of your ability. Vet everything, and then you publicize all sides to the best of your ability.
Living in East Baton Rouge Parish as a Black resident has its challenges. However, it's important to note that the community has several organizations dedicated to making positive changes. These organizations are working hard to address issues like access to health care, affordable housing, and quality education. They are also advocating for social justice and equality. As a result, Black residents can feel empowered knowing that their voices are being heard and their concerns are being addressed. The community is coming together to create a better future for everyone, which is something to be proud of. For many, EBR is a lot of things. Still, there is no doubt that this parish will always be home. It will always be where families and communities come together, stories are told, dreams are met, and most importantly, where memories are made.
You know, just like them, the youth that's out there right now, I want to talk to y'all. I was in your shoes. I was that kid. I was the same guy that was walking around the neighborhood trying to find something to do, you know, getting into mischief and doing all of those things. You know what I'm saying? But I had a praying grandmother, you know what I'm saying? I had a mother that was teaching me right. So sometimes, you know, as teenagers, we want to do what we want to do. But I'm telling you, if you just take the time to understand that you don't know everything, and the reason why mom and dad is telling you those things because they didn't live the life that you trying to live, then I want them to understand that, you know, you can do better. You know what I'm saying? You can do it the right way. You know, everybody want to say, well, it's not like it was when you were young. Well, I used to tell my mama that same thing. And now as me being an adult and looking at my kids, telling me the same thing, I'm going, wow, how it just, the cycle keep on turning and keep on turning. But what I want them to take away from this is, don't never let nobody tell you you can't be greater than what you are, that you're a nobody, that you can't make it. Because with a positive thought, positive mind, and hard work, anything you set your mind on, you can accomplish it. You can accomplish your dream. You can be the next president. You can be whatever you want to be. But all of that takes hard work. And don't forget one thing. You got to stay centered with God. You know what I'm saying? Go to church. You know what I'm saying? And those type of things. And all that work together. And I promise you, you'll be blessed. You'll be blessed. Now, I know you say, wow, B-Lo the rapper, he's supposed to be rapping about this, saying that. But you know what? B-Lo the rapper also is Bruce Wayne Moore that was born and was raised in the church. So I know God and I love him. So at the same time, that's what I want you to take away from that. Always be a God-fearing young man, God-fearing young woman. You know what I'm saying? Put God first and believe and talk to your teachers and your mama, and you'll be all right. You'll make it.
To take from this lesson is everybody have feeling, no matter who, which side of the family you're on. If you're on the victim side or you're on the side who the person who does it, you still lose. It's two families losing in this situation. It doesn't matter. We're both hurting. So I would want another family to take that from this lesson is to put the guns down and pick back up our hearts and show love to one another. I feel the love is wax cold and that no one loves one another. Everybody's about self. And we have to get back to that community is to love ye one another as God has spoken.
I agree to tell my story because it's my story and everything I've done, I can be held accountable for. It's nothing that I regret doing. Being a single, well, I'm not single, but being a mother, a young mother that's no longer married, I've been through a lot. I've been through the military, I've been married, I've been divorced, I've been a mother. So I'm just here to tell my story.
Everybody's not the same. Every city isn't the same, but in the way they are the same because you have your bad areas and your good areas. And like you said, with the media or whatnot, it can get kind of skewed as to what you tune into and when it comes to the media. So I would say don't, I guess, believe everything that you see or try to develop your own experiences before you make an assumption.
I feel like if you get to meet somebody from Baton Rouge, I feel like you're very lucky because I think the vast pool of everybody that comes here, we're very diverse and well-rounded people. I know from just my graduate, people I went to school with, I know teachers, I know people who get their PhDs, I know rappers, I know a wide range of people. So I've learned a bunch of experiences and that those people as well, they learn all a bunch of experiences and been through so many things and it's just I feel like we're the best of the best in the South. It's there's so many cultural things. You got the football, you got the food, you got music, everything. It's just a little bit of everything. And so I feel like we're a very good representation of the South.
We can build a more accurate and nuanced understanding of the Black community by listening to the often marginalized and overlooked voices. It's time to change the story, and we need to start by addressing the root causes of systemic racism and poverty that contributes to the crime issues we see in East Baton Rouge Parish. One way to do this is by amplifying the voices of those working towards positive change and supporting endeavors that create opportunities for the Black community. By coming together and working towards a common goal, we can create a brighter future for the Black residents of East Baton Rouge Parish.